Hello, everyone. It's a gorgeous sun-filled day. I kind of had to rearrange my spot a little bit because it's a really pretty day. Today's my birthday, so uh, always a good day if you're a numerology person. I kind of like that I'm 3-9. um, and I'm apparently doing crazy hair today, but that's okay. You know, a lot of the time now, I'm finding that I don't like to be on social media, or it's very brief. Like, I'll check it a couple times a day just to see more so what my friends are doing. And I see a lot of the noise of the world, and I find a lot of it. I'll go, oh, that's interesting, and then keep scrolling. There's a lot of things coming out right now about that, depending on how much you were paying attention or not at the time, you might already know. And if you didn't, then it's going to be surprising and alarming. And if you did, you're just kind of like, where were you? And then you also know that just people weren't there then, and that's okay. Um, but I find that I'm like hunkering down and just being with my kids and being inward, playing games, reading, um, because a lot of that distraction just seems rather unsatisfying. I have a friend that was like, I'm just kind of over social media. I think I'll just, like, if I want to send you a picture, I'm just going to send you a picture of my kids or whatever. And um, I don't like, I feel like I'm stalking people when I'm just looking at their pictures online. And I get that sentiment. I like the ease and grace of being able to share pictures and a bunch of people seeing them versus texting them individually or whatever to people, because that takes time, and so it's a balance. I think a lot of us are going in, and it's not a denial or blocking out of the world, because there's times I'm in the world, and when I'm out in the world, I try to be my genuine, authentic self, and I also try to be this piece of love and hope in the world. And there's times I fail. And there's times I'm very successful. And I might be successful to me in 1 minute and be unsuccessful in the next. And those are, I try not to look at it as anyone else's outside opinion. It's just my own judgment and what I think and how I look at it. But if you're going within right now, if you find yourself less on technology, or you'll just pop on and then pop off, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think a lot of this is a time suck and an energy suck that who knows who else it may feed or benefit if it pulls us out of our freedom and our consciousness. That's not good. I can also completely understand the need to what is it, Netflix and chill or whatever. Like, I'm a mom. There's days that it's just kind of, and I just want to zone out and kind of be like, okay, I'm done. And I understand that too. And I try to, there's times when that happens and I go, maybe I need to go meditate now. Maybe I need to pull some cards. Maybe I need to journal a bit. Because maybe I'm avoiding something too by that chill out time. Only I can answer those questions for me, and only you can answer those questions for you. So if you feel like you're avoiding something, dig into that. But if you also feel like you're just kind of retreating because the world is noisy and it's a big distraction a lot of the time, I don't think that's wrong either. I think you're recognizing the systems that are in place, the programming that's in place that has helped to, more or less enslave humanity for quite a while. And when you're waking up and you notice the chaos and the noise, at first you're like, oh my gosh, they're doing this and what's going on and why isn't everybody upset about this? And you realize that a lot of people are still asleep, and that's okay, because everybody, you don't realize it then, but you might realize it later. It is okay. Everybody is serving their role and their purpose, and you can't force anybody to awaken or see things from your point of view. And even if somebody does awaken, it doesn't mean they're going to see things exactly like you. That may be the biggest disappointment and kind of thing. You could put 10 awakened people into a room and they're going to have a variety of opinions on many things. And I think when you really start to step back, you go, there's nothing wrong with any of these opinions. They're this person's viewpoint, and they should be loved and honored for their viewpoint, and I should be loved and honored for my viewpoint. And I think a lot of the world is, you have to love, my viewpoint, and mine is the only viewpoint. And when we get into stuff like that, whoa boy. I think there's just a certain confidence and knowingness about, as you're growing into yourself, or as you're shedding layers of parts of you, aspects of you that are no longer you, you're also shedding parts of the world and the programming too. And you don't need a lot of it. I mean, there's still things I have to do in the daily world to function. I might try to grow everything that I can here and have a variety of animals and all sorts of things, and I'm still going to have to go to the store for something. I'm still going to have to interact with other people for something. And even if I find people that are, and I have people that are like me, that, honor me for who I am and don't try to change me. They just accept me and love me as I am, and I do the same to them. But that doesn't mean we're going to see anything exactly the same either. And it feels different when you walk into a room of women and you're fully accepted for exactly who you are, and they're fully accepted for who they are, and there's no petty jealousy or infighting or, just anything. It feels different. And when you have a room full of women like that, or men, or whatever, and somebody isn't in that, you feel that. And it's easy to kind of spot, I guess. Um, I guess I'm kind of all over the place today. Um, but I really think there's a lot of people that their routine is changing. They're growing in ways that, most of the world might not understand, sitting down with a book and reading a book for 2 hours versus, you know, being on social media and arguing about whatever. Um, and it's amazing. The world will try to suck you back in, um, to its distractions and things like that. And um, you realize you're like you are actually actively making a conscious decision. Do I want to get sucked back into this, bullshit or whatever it is? And most of the time I'm like, that's not worth my time. Even if I was going to spend my time literally watching TV or playing a video game or whatever the hell else it may be, it's literally not worth my time to argue with people online or whatever. It's just not. I value my time, my relaxation time, and all that time as something worth more to me. And if you would rather be doing that, if you'd rather be planting seeds for people, then I absolutely commend you. And I think that's a beautiful thing. It's just something 90% of the time now, I don't, that's not where I want my energy to go. I think I occasionally post stuff on Facebook. It's more stuff that I shared, 5 or 6 years ago, just because I think it's good information and it hasn't been wiped off of social media yet. But my only thing is, it may be a seed, and then that's it. It's, I'm done. I'm not engaging in it. If you're feeling off or out of touch for retreating from the world, there's so many news stories and everything like that, and people will, occasionally see people talking about it, or they'll be up in arms about it, and I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. And I keep stepping back to that observer position. Um, and, do I want to interact? I'm sitting there watching a play, and I'm in the audience, and I can decide at any time to get up from the audience and go onto the stage and perform and interact. I can decide to be part of the crew and help with, maybe seed planting or whatever, or I can just watch it unfold from the audience. And most of the time anymore, I like to just sit in the audience, and I want to just be living my life as it calls me and as my synchronizations kick in. And it tells me that's the path and where I'm at to be on, and that's okay. Um, if you're not there, if you're in a different place and your gut is telling you you need to be doing this, that, or the other, that's okay too, because we're two different individuals, we're two different souls, we're two different energies. What we have come here to do is two different things. And again, if you put 10 of us in a room, we're going to have 10 different things that we came here to do, at least. And so that's why you can't say, this is right, this is wrong, whatever. Um, I think over many lifetimes we've all been the perpetrator, we've all been the victim. We've played in these different constructs for a very long time. And we can choose now to step back and not participate and do what resonates with us. And I think when you're doing what resonates for you, life is just, it's a beautiful gift every day. And I think when we're not in synchronization with ourselves and we're not honoring ourselves, that's when we get things like depression and anxiety and things like that. And hey, I could be completely wrong. I don't profess to have all or any answers. I'm just telling you about my journey and what I think. I think if we can stand in a room with 10 people and not judge them and just love them for who they are, we get closer to a I don't want to say utopia because that has so many negative connotations, but that's the only word I can think of right now. My family and I were talking about one of the kids asked what a cult was last night, and we gave a couple different examples, and then gave some maybe non-traditional examples, and it was really good, active discussion that several of our kids were very active and engaged in and asking questions. And I think there is this idea of utopia or perfection. And I think humanity has been there, and I think humanity will get there again. It may not be in this lifetime. I think we're getting there from the things we're doing in this lifetime. But when we cede to judgment, control, and things like that, and we start taking away people's free will, then we lose that. If I go into a room with 10 people and say, you have to all think like me, we're all going to do this. We're all going to be happy together, and we're all going to love each other, but you got to do it my way. That's probably not going to work for very long. But if I walk into a room and say, hey, let's all kind of do what we want, help each other, love each other and stuff, there's still potential for problems, absolutely. But there's also a potential for greatness too. If you're going within, if you're retreating from the world, if you're looking at the noise of the world from the audience and not being on the stage and not being in the crew, you are absolutely okay, and there is nothing wrong with you. And if you are in those things, if you are performing on the stage, if you are in the crew, there is nothing wrong with you too. Can you walk into a room and not judge somebody else for their opinion? Can you just love them? Can you walk into a room and not judge yourself and just love you? That's probably the hard questions. And wherever you're at on your journey, I wish you good luck in what you decide to do and wherever you're at in your journey, knowing that there's no right or wrong place to be. There just is where you are at now. Well, this ended up being a much longer video than I intended. And I feel a little all over the place, but I also feel good about it. So there's that. I'm gonna go enjoy my kids. I was letting them eat cookies for breakfast because it's Mom's birthday. And I don't know what other fun we're gonna do today, but we're gonna have fun. So I wish you a good day. Have a wonderful one.